Hello, hello. Welcome. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I hope that this work is as deep of benefit to you as it is and has been for me on my, transformational healing journey. And if you are returning back, welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I wanted to start off this video today by just reminding you why we're talking about all of this in the first place. We're talking about, this idea of being of service. This whole month, we're talking about being of service. What does it mean to be of service, right? It means giving without anything coming back, any expectations. It's about giving with a full open heart. It's about giving with a sense of love and not reciprocity, right? So we're looking at all of these ways that service shows up. But as I've been teaching this year after year, I'm starting to see that sometimes we have these other tendencies that sort of filter what we're doing. The activities are the same as if we're serving, but the emotions that are attached are not service. So we call these the people-pleasing tendencies, right? And I'd put a video, I'll put it back up here, top 10 signs that you are a people pleaser, right? So if you find yourself doing these 10 habits, these 10 little things, then chances are your service work, you're signing up for the cupcakes, you're putting the chairs away at meetings, you're, signing up to be a parent on a field trip, or whatever the things are that you are doing as a way of service. You've got the burnout, right? You've got that resentment, you're comparing and contrasting who's doing less, who's doing more. So if you're in that mode, you're not in service. That's my recommendation, is that the gasoline behind the service work is what makes it service, not the actual activities. Okay. And then one thing I want to say is that Mother Teresa has this beautiful quote, and it's a longer quote, but the one part that I want to share with you is she says, the fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. Okay. The fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. So our love gives us the fruit of wanting service. Our service gives us the fruit of feeling peace. So if you're not feeling peace, my ponder is, are you really in service? Okay, so today is day 4, and we're going to dive into day 4. If you are enjoying this series, be sure you hit the like video button so that we know that you are enjoying this sort of content. If you really loved it, send it to a friend, because as always, it's like sharing something that you're exposed to and you're inspired by is such a great gift to your friends. And always, if you want to hit subscribe, you'll get notified when these videos come out right away, and we can almost ponder in real time. Okay, so today we're talking about day 4, the 4th sign that you might be a people pleaser. All right, today we're talking about truth. In yoga, we would say satya, the truth, rigorous honesty. Okay, now I'm going to be really honest with you today, and I'm going to say that I think people pleasing is a using behavior, right? It is a behavior that we do when we have low self-esteem, right? Low self-esteem. And I talked about that in this video 3. And because my self-esteem is low, I do these activities so that I am approved of, so that I am cared about, so that I'm thought highly of, and so that my self-worth gets buoyed by other people's opinions of me. So in other words, I'm suggesting here that people-pleasing is a manipulative way of moving through this world, right? We think of people pleasers like, oh, they're so accommodating, they're so easy, they just always sign up, they're good people, they just give and give and give and give, and they don't care if they get enough sleep, and they don't care about. But I'm saying it's not from a full tank. It's not from a sense of love or peace. It's a way to use activities and other people to manipulate so that they get that self-seeking buoy of feeling better about themselves. Before you get mad at me about this, I want to also say that this technique of being a people pleaser is a survival strategy, probably from childhood trauma. So we do this behavior because it was a strategy that worked successfully for us when we were younger, but now no longer serves us because we're burned out. Right? We're resentful. We're comparing and contrasting. We're living in a place different inside than outside. And what causes us suffering? This difference, this incongruent with the truth of who I am and the way I'm showing up is the reason that human beings suffer. So if I'm out of alignment there, I'm going to suffer. And that's why we're here. So number one, it is a manipulative behavior. It is a user type way of looking at life, using other people, using activities, but it is a coping strategy or a strategic strategy of surviving that has worked for us in the past that's no longer working for us. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So here we are. We're talking about this different ways that people can be in relationships. So a couple ways that people can be in relationships is they can be really empathetic, right? You can be in an empathetic relationship where you're listening and you're hearing and you're helping and you're moving in that way. Right? We can be in a defensive relationship where we are consistently protecting ourselves. We're making sure no one's going to hurt us. We're on guard. The third is oppressive, right? I need to be in control. I need to be organized and manage everybody around me. And I am the one that is in charge. Next one, playful, right? Everything seems to be like a playful game. What's going to happen to me today? I'm so excited about what she's going to say when I say that. And, really a playful sense. And then people pleasing, it's a transactional way of living. Right? If I do this for you, then this is what's going to come back for me. If I do this for you, then this is what's going to come back for me. And if I'm not getting a reciprocal event or action or boost of my self-esteem, then I get depleted or burned out. Or I'm relying on external world to give me a sense of worth. So if I don't have anything to sign up for, like COVID, everything sort of shut down. These people feel like, oh my God, how do I help others when I'm alone, right? And I don't like to be alone. That's what we're talking about. So one of the things that I want to bring up here today is how do we get through this idea of moving through this strategy where we are afraid to tell the truth because we're afraid of being in a conflict. We're afraid of letting people down. We're afraid of being rejected or abandoned. And we're not being honest. How does that hurt you? As I mentioned in the other videos, if I'm pretending to be something for you and you love me, but it's not really who I am, it's not really what I think, it's not at all the same, then I know this whole time that you're loving someone I'm not, and I have to keep that tap dance going. Right? And I get farther and farther and farther away from who you think I am. And I get farther and farther and farther away from who I really am, that I'm sort of left in the middle of like this, I don't know who I am and I don't know who you want me to be. And there's not a self-identity. There's not a worth. So these people are focusing more on pleasing others than really developing their own worth. So I wanted to offer you today in this video a couple of things that you could do to build your own self-worth and to sort of look at this in a new way. Okay, because again, those strategies of coping in the past were great. They worked for us, but they're not working for us anymore. The first thing I wanted to bring up is if you could, right, who would you stop following, pleasing, listening to, doing for, right? So this would be a journaling exercise. If I could have my way and there were no negative consequences, right? And no one thought bad of me and I just did it for myself. And if you think you're going to be selfish, I want you to watch the first video because that's what we talked about. Fear of being selfish is selfish. Who would it be? Who would I stop sort of pleasing? Okay. Number two, what are the boundaries that perhaps I need to set up? Now, I know a lot of you struggle with boundaries, and if you do struggle with setting boundaries or even knowing what a boundary is, I can coach you. You can reach out to me and we can do a coaching series on it. innergazeyoga@gmail.com. Just email me. But where can I start setting up boundaries? How do you know if you need a boundary? Where do you start getting resentful, right? I'm working till 10 o'clock at night, right? Does your boss ask you to work till 10 o'clock at night, or are you doing that because you want it to be perfect? Right? Setting boundaries. When the day is over at 6 p.m., I'm unplugging, right? Or I'm not, doing, going to softball games, baseball games, soccer games, basketball games, Saturday and Sunday, right? I'm not giving up both of my weekend days. Whatever it is, starting to set these very firm boundaries. And then the third, and my very favorite, is if you could say the truth, what you really do and don't like, and you weren't afraid of rejection, you weren't afraid of being abandoned, and you weren't afraid of letting someone down, what would you really say? It's like, I don't like the way you cook lasagna. I don't like the way that you want to watch TV. I don't like the way you chew. Whatever it is, let yourself tell those truths in your journal, right? Not to the other person, just in the journal. What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? Just pour your guts out here. right? Pour your guts out here. Look at the truths, your truths, right? And do you like them? Do you like them? Look at those truths. Do you like them? And start to use this bigger brain of yours, right? Instead of this focused tunnel trauma survivor brain, open up to that big awareness, right? The big awareness, and look at the way you're seeing things. And is this true? Is it true for you now, right? Maybe you do like veggie lasagna. Maybe you don't need that meat, right? Or whatever. All right. So I want you to play with this. This is really important because it's the quality of your life. It's your being of service from a place where you get filled. You get filled with peace. You get filled with love by showing up, and you keep your healthy boundaries. All right. I'll see you next time in our day 5. We will be talking about approval seeking. Approval seeking. A little different. All right. As always, may this work be of deep benefit to you. Much love. So much love. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for doing this work. Namaste.